Brak Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Quadash, Rakah. Also giving double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And I want to say peace and blessings, salutations to the hopefully elect. As a high spirit wind Judah of the GMS Mississippi camp. All right. And today I want to go into a breakdown of Asher and who Asher is. All right. In today's world, which today we will call them the so-called Brazilians from Colombia to Uruguay. Okay, which will make up the tribe of Asher. All right. And I'm just going to go jump into the breakdown. This is Genesis chapter 49, verse 20. It says, out of Asher, his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. So I'm going to start with the first verse. It says, his bread shall be fat. And I'm going to go into the concordance, all right, and look up the Hebrew word for bread, which is, of course, lacham or lakham, like in the scriptures where it says, give us this day our daily bread, all right? All right, lakham, and it says, Strong's info, it says, especially bread or grain for making it, bread, food, loaf, fruit, meat, victuals. So from there, I'm going to go into the Wikipedia. I'm going to go into agriculture in Brazil. Okay. And it says, I'm going to start from the top. It says, the agriculture of Brazil is historically one of the principal bases of Brazil's economy. While its initial focus was on sugarcane, Brazil eventually became the world's largest exporter of coffee, soybeans, beef, and crop-based ethanol. All right, and it says Brazil, the bread basket of the world. Now, what did it just say in the Blue Letter Bible? It says, out of Asher, his bread shall be fat. And like I said, I looked up the word bread, which is lacham, all right? And it says, you know, grains, food, fruit, all right? But it's basically what was produced during agriculture, all right? So going back to agriculture in Brazil, it says specifically, Brazil, skip it down to the second sentence, Brazil eventually became the world's largest exporter of coffee, soybeans, beef, and crop-based ethanol. So in order to export something, that means that you produced it. Going back to the scriptures, your bread should be made fat. And let's go into the stats. It says for grains, which is bread, that's where you get bread from. You get bread from grains. It says production, or what it produces, all right, 145 million tons. All right, I'm going to skip down to cane and derivatives. It says major products, 493.4 million tons. Soy, 59.2 million tons. Corn, 58.9 million tons. All right, crop value, 148.8 billion USD dollars. All right, it says Brazil exported 37,000 tons of processed cashew nuts valued at 187.7 thousand US dollars in 2012. All right. And I'm going to leave it to you brothers to read the rest of this. This is agriculture in Brazil. All right. And from there, I want to get the second verse of the breakdown in Genesis. It says, go to Genesis right quick. Go back. All right. And it says, his bread shall be made fat, and he shall yield. Well, I read it from here. Out of Asher, his bread shall be made fat. So now we know what that part means. And it says, and he shall yield royal dainties. So what are the royal dainties that he yields? Let's look up this word royal dainties in the Blue Letter Bible. All right. And it's ma'adan. All right. And it says, go to Strong's info, a delicacy, pleasure, delicately, delight. So I looked up the word delicacy or dainty in a free dictionary. All right, because it said he should yield royal dainties, and it says delicately beautiful or charming and usually small. Keep that in mind. Usually small. And I'm going to scroll down. It says from dainty. it says under cookery, a choice piece of food, especially a small cake or sweet delicacy. Okay, so I typed up Brazilian delicacies because a dainty is a delicacy, and here I have, it says popular on the web. This is just on what the web brings up without going to the actual site, and it's a for Joda, all right, for Joda right here. Then it said this is a pound de queijo, okay, and this is acarajé, all right. But these are small dainties produced from Brazil. Brigadeiro, brigadeiro, and this is a quindine, okay. This little donut looking thing right here, okay. All right, but these are examples of dainties. Going back to Genesis, okay, going back to Genesis, it says, just give it 1 second to load. It says that out of Asher his breast should be made fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Okay, so what we just saw were examples of royal dainties. I went to a restaurant in Illinois. It was a Brazilian restaurant, and all they had was a bunch of dainties on the side of the restaurant, like on the side section of the restaurant. They had a section dedicated to dainties, man. It was beautiful, man. And you know, brothers in this truth, like I'm a brother that love those sweets, man. You know, and I know a lot of other brothers are like that as well. But I'm gonna go back to it, so I could go back to the Brazilian delicacies. Okay, so I have the feijoada, the very beginning. I have the pound de queijo. All right, I have the acarajé right here. This is the third one. I'm gonna skip to the little. It looks like a brown brownie, but it's a brigadeiro. Next to it is the quindine. Okay, and at the end, it looks like a burger, but that's a baru. I have another one. Thought I had another one. Probably skipped it, but that's the main point. Oh, here it is. It's the acai tija. All right, the acai tija right here. This is like another. Looks like a brownie, but these are examples of Brazilian delicacies or royal dainties, man. And these are royal dainties. You could fathom that, you know, Asher is a royal tribe, man. You could fathom them being in that royal lifestyle prior to the Portuguese arrival, man. They were living like princes, even on this side, living like kings, man. They had the fatness of the earth within Brazil. Okay, so I'm going to go to Deuteronomy, the 33rd chapter, to continue on with the breakdown. Deuteronomy, the 33rd chapter, and the 24th verse. Okay, it says, and of Asher, he said, let Asher be blessed with children. Let him be acceptable to his brethren, and let him dip his foot in oil. So let's get to the breakdown where it says, let us dip his foot in oil, which we pretty much know what oil is. But I could get it anyway. I could get the definition. It says, and Asher, that's another fruitful tribe, by the way, and they have longevity within their society. Okay, but it says, let him dip his foot in oil. Or oil goes back to, I believe that's regal. Okay, it says, Salak brothers, I think I got the word for foot. Let me make sure. Yeah, let me go back. It's shaman. I should have known that. Shaman or shaman. Okay, but that's oil, and it says grease, especially liquid, figuratively riches, anointing, fat, fruitful oil, ointment, olive, pine. Okay, but that's going for oil. But let's see as far as what Asher produces, the so-called Brazilians produce, that links up with the scriptures. Let me see if I have it already. Offshore discovery. Yeah, this is ABC News. Basically abcnews.go.com. I'm just gonna read the main part. It says, get to the point, because I read the very top. It's abcnews.go.com. Offshore discovery could make Brazil major oil exporter. So in order for Brazil to be an exporter, all right, they have to have a lot of oil. It says a monster offshore oil discovery could help Brazil join the ranks of the world's major exporters. All right, but full-scale extraction is unlikely until 2013 and will be very expensive. All right, let me see. Getting the oil. This actually may not be the article that I originally pulled up. Okay, and I could just get the main point from here. This is a highlight from the article I just read, but I'm just going to read the main point. It says Petrobras says the Tupi field off Brazil's southeastern Atlantic coast has between 5 billion and 8 billion barrels, equivalent to 40% of all the oil ever discovered in Brazil. Brazil's total oil reserves currently rank 17th in the world with 14.4 billion barrels of oil equivalent, Gabriele said. So 14.4, which that goes back to 144 in the spirit, was Brazil was ranked 17 in the world as far as oil reserves, man. And that's pretty huge, man. All right, that's just one resource, you see. All right, it said, this is from Forbes. It says, here's how much oil Brazil Petrobras has in reserves. So I'm just going to read the highlight. Of the 13.3 billion total, 10.9 billion barrels are oil and condensate. Natural gas reserves are 374.2 billion. All right, square cubic meters as of December 31st. Petrobras said on Friday that roughly 2.4 billion decline in reserves was due to other factors, primarily revisions of well estimates at its pre-salt sites offshore. All right, but that's mainly the point, you know. Brazil is 17th, with 17 as far as having the largest oil reserve. Okay, and if brothers want to get more into detail, they could go on abc.go.com. They could also go to abcnews.go.com. They could also go to Forbes. All right, as far as Brazil oil reserves. But that's the main point. His foot should be dipped in oil because he's gonna have a great oil reserve. Okay.